You were talking about something earlier called the burden of proof argument. Can you unpack that a little more?
Yeah. So, a lot of times, atheists will sometimes say that they don't really have to give any objection because they don't have to demonstrate that God does not exist or that we should not believe in God. They will simply say that because we are making an affirmative statement, then we have all the burden of proof. And so all they really have to do is say, I'm not convinced by your argument, and that's really all they have to do. And perhaps taken in a vacuum, that would be true. But the fact is that this is not in a vacuum, and the level of reasons we have to believe in a God, specifically in the Christian God of the Bible, it shifts the burden of proof to the point where the atheist has to demonstrate, okay, why are you not believing this? Why are you not convinced by this evidence? What possible evidence could you be convinced by? So one simple thing is the fact that anything exists at all. Like really, literally, everything and anything in the universe is evidence that God exists. Why? Well, because simply nothing can exist without a cause. We know this intuitively. It's what science is based off of, which is interesting going back to the first objection that Christianity is anti-science. If anything can come about apart from a cause, then science is over. Like an apple falls to the ground, does that show gravity? Or is that just something happening for no reason, with no cause? If things can happen without a cause, then you can never do science because maybe it's just something happening without a cause. And the thing about that is that every cause has to have another cause. And no matter how far you go back, you're going to need a cause for that as well.
It's like an infinite regress.
Yes. Now, what we go back to normally is the beginning of the universe. We can generally figure out, or speculate at least, about what everything in the universe comes from, but at some point there's always this energy and everything that exists at the beginning of the universe. Where does that come from? It had to have its own cause. Now, traditionally, this was not always something that people would immediately go to because they would say, well, maybe the universe always existed. Now, we know this is not true from both scientific and philosophical reasons. The scientific reasons, the universe we know is running down. It would eventually, if we did not believe in the return of Jesus, it would eventually cease to exist. So if the universe had always existed, then it would have already ceased to exist by this point, because it doesn't have an infinite amount of time to exist. Even if that weren't the case, even if the universe could continue on indefinitely, if it had an infinite past, then how could it get to this point? It would have taken infinity amount of time to get to this point, and you can never get through infinity amount of time, right? It's like trying to count to infinity. How long does it take you to count to infinity? Well, it takes you forever. You can't count to infinity. And what people are saying if they say that the universe always existed is that effectively the universe counted to infinity to get here. Of course that can't happen, so the universe had to begin. And so the question is, what began it? It couldn't have happened for no reason because, again, things can't happen for no reason. People may say, okay, so the universe had a cause and maybe we don't know what it is. But why does it have to be God? Well, it has to be someone that has the ability to cause the universe to begin, to create everything that was at the beginning of the universe, all the energy. And they would have to be personal because they would have to make a decision to begin the universe, or else if it was just a force, then it couldn't make a change except for needing another independent cause of itself, and then we get back to the infinite regress again. So at this point it has to be a personal and all-powerful being. That is, of course, God. Now, one thing most atheists will try to simply go by, well, we don't know what caused the universe. There is an atheist named Lawrence Krauss who has tried to come up with an explanation. He says that, well, the universe was created by a quantum mechanics fluctuation. The simple answer to that is, okay, then what caused the quantum mechanics fluctuation? Like, that still needs a cause. His book is titled A Universe from Nothing, but it's not nothing, it's something. right? Atheists often talk about nothing as if nothing is a thing. An analogy people sometimes use is, you say, nothing stopped the German advance, and then they say, well, thank God nothing was there to stop the German advance. Like, that's not what nothing means. It means no thing. So if the universe was caused by quantum mechanics, then where'd that come from? So you still have to have that's something that needs a cause.
But God doesn't have one, because he's an infinite God. He doesn't have a beginning. He's always existed.
Right. And you may say, well, if the universe couldn't have always existed, then why did God have to always exist? Well, because, simply put, God exists outside of time. So the whole idea of like counting to infinity and all that only works within the concept of time. God is eternal and unchanging. Everything about him that we view as being in time is him interacting with us in the process of time.
I think that concludes it for this video. My name's Tyrus.
Austin Burton.
God bless, and catch you next time. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed Austin's videos, I'm going to leave one and a link in the description. You can check out his channel, which is Owning for Jesus. So God bless, have a great day.